whenever I went through something, it brought me closer to God. And I stayed into something. So now I'm closer to God. But being closer is hard. The attacks get stronger, become much harder to fight, and they last longer. But that's what it's always been. Joy with the pain, dark with the light, sun with the rain. But with the right perspective, there can be something to gain. Look for the good in the bad, not the sun when it rains. You can get something good out of it if you're strong enough emotionally to look past the fact that you do have the right to be hurt, but you know what, let me put my hurt aside for a minute and see what I can get from this situation.
To the best of your ability. They don't even, make an attempt. But these are the people with, with the most shit to talk. But, Yahweh Shai had to go, him being perfect, he had to go through the same thing. So us being imperfect in this flesh, how much more we gotta deal with the contradiction of sinners against us. Shit talking niggas and bitches. Church going folk talking shit. All these type of things, man. Least ye be weary and faint in your minds. Just remember that the Lord went through worse things to you. And, that's going to be, how you stay, stable mentally, man. Because Jake, they try you, man. Don't nobody mock you how a nigga mock you, man. Jake got a talent with that shit. Jake definitely got a talent with that shit, mocking you and saying shit to get under your skin. But, that's another thing that you just got to accept on this walk. This is Luke 21:15. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. Family is definitely gonna betray you because, hey, just like Yahweh Shai, man, like the people that was watching them would say shit like, ain't that Mary's son? Ain't that Joseph's son? He's the brother of such, because that's how they look at you. You're only, and the people deal with a version of you, and whichever version of you makes them the most comfortable is the one they cling on to. So nobody's should be comfortable around you at this point. You being in the spirit of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, of course they're gonna be uncomfortable because everything you do is contrary to what they do. But how they cope with that is to say, well, I remember this nigga was this, that, and the third. That's why family the first thing to go. It's the first thing to go. And don't be foolish and try to hang on just because, certain people are certain people. It's a part of my testimony. I've done that. And it just intensified and got worse and worse. And the Most High used them to whoop on you until you say, you know what, I ain't supposed to be around them any fucking way. Because them is the niggas that want to control you the most. They don't want to see you change the most. Because the change within you exposes how stagnant they are. If you change, everybody around you who not willing to change, they look bad. Them niggas don't like that. But let them not like that from afar, man. Just because these people got such and such titles in your life don't mean you got to deal with them. Isolate yourself from them. Scripture say be a good soldier for Yahweh Shai, solitude comes along with being a soldier sometimes. You got to be isolated from them worldly folk. And fuck them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they could do nothing for you anyway. You know, and some of you shall they cause be put to death. You know, because these is the people that's gonna you know, tell your whereabouts in that day. Because all you gotta do, all Esau gotta do is put a little pressure on Jake. You know, knock on the door, boom, boom, boom. You know, brandish a firearm. Where he at? Oh, he up here. They gonna get you. They gonna start singing. Luke 21:17, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. All right, just why these people hate you. It's gonna come a time where the hatred is even gonna intensify. You know, although people hate those who come in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai already, it's gonna intensify. But you not being connected to these people anyway, so what? Who gives a fuck about their enemy? If you on a battlefield, you're not worrying about your enemy's thoughts or the impression that you made on them. Y'all at war. John 7:7, the world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. So the same reason the world hate Yahweh Shai is the same reason the world gonna hate those who follow him. Everybody that's under his tutelage. You testify against the world. It's a wicked ass world that these people is comfortable in. You testifying against it. Of course they not gonna like that. You know how much damn ham is about to be made tomorrow? Just that alone. You can't say nothing about that. You will, but you know what's gonna happen if you do. Oh, this nigga, you the killjoy. That's what you become around these people, the killjoy, like they say. All right, this nigga go with his Bible. So of course they gonna hate you because you it's like you telling them everything they doing wrong. And Jake don't like to be told they doing wrong. Jake hate that shit. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. They hate the Most High, man. 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Because if you walking in righteousness, all right, once again, it shows their stagnation. If a righteous man walk into the room, which all righteousness is like filthy rags, don't get it twisted, But a righteous man, that's a man thriving for righteousness. You walk in the room, all the wicked niggas uncomfortable. The fuck? Of course they is. Cause now, damn, my wickedness is on. You ain't even gotta say nothing to him. My wickedness is on trial just by in this man's presence. Like a lying ass nigga. We all know somebody that's a liar. But if you 100 and you authentic, they don't like you. Because your authenticity puts their what do you want to say? Fakeness on trial. So the same way with these people in the world, as far as how they conduct themselves. If it's so-called Christmas and you walk in, now everybody uncomfortable. Just for the fact they know he might start saying something. They eating some damn shrimp in front of you. Oh, here come this nigga. They hate that. And that's why they hated Yahweh Shai when he was on the scene. Because they knew. That's why they wanted it. That's why they was ultimately, the Lord was crucified. But that's the reason. They was plotting on him and shit. It's John 15:18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love its own. See that go back to, people being put on trial. If the world love, if ye were of the world would love his own. So like the examples I gave, if you was like them, they wouldn't have no problem with you. Nobody, has a problem with people that's like them. Is what fellowship does righteousness have with wickedness, or light have with darkness? It's the people that's the complete opposite of them. So that's why the world hates you. If ye were of the world would love its own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. All right, so you've been chosen to be hated by these folks. All right, it's your lot, man. Deal with it. You gotta get all emotional about it. It's deal. Remember the word, this is verse 20. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also. All right, if they persecuted the Lord, we gonna get persecuted. And I can see it, man. Esau with his media tricks, man. He gonna be chopping up videos, editing shit. They can do anything with that AI shit. Make you look like a real asshole, you know what I'm saying? But hey, whatever. Once you accept the fact that, this is what comes with it, it's easier to deal with. You don't have to, brace yourself for the pain as much when you've become, accustomed to dealing with it over a period of time. It may hurt, but it ain't not like it would if you were new to it, is the point I'm trying to make. Or if you weren't privy to the fact that it's necessary. It is what it is. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. Same thing, when we preach, the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's why they so, easily talk shit, because they don't know the judgments that come with that. They don't know what they doing. When they worship these idols, they don't know how that angers the Most High. Especially you damn Israelites, man. They don't know. Matthew 10:24, the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? So they said the Lord was a demon, said the Lord has Satan on him. This is how he's doing his miracles. He got demons on him. This is why he's contrary to everything that we do. It's the demons on him. That's how they look at us. No matter, and these people are just not meant to get it. No matter how much you go into the scriptures and try to make them understand. They were made to be destroyed. It was made to be adversaries of the Heavenly Father, even them amongst our people. Because that's who attack you the most. 2/3. But Yahweh Shai said unto them, ye know not what ye ask. Can ye drink of the cup that I drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And they said unto him, we can. Yahweh Shai said unto them, yes, and ye shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of, And with the baptism that I am baptized withal shall ye be baptized. And that's what it is. So to go back to the because I had put a clip of DMX up, that's the meaning that you find within the suffering. It's for the Lord. Because the Lord, our master had to do it. Shit. So we gotta do it. All right. But 1 Peter 4:12, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. Right? It's not strange because the Lord said it out of his own mouth that we gonna go through that. We gonna have to drink of the cup he drink of and be baptized with the baptism that he's been baptized with. We gonna have to. So it ain't nothing strange. That's the meaning within the suffering. It's not strange. It just is what it is. You gotta stay patient and keep fighting. Using that that death ground tactic. Sirach 2:5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So the more you go through and the more you conquer, you should feel as though you're an acceptable man in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. He's not putting you through this for no reason. You have to be put through that furnace of adversity, and we in adverse situations all day long, all the days of the week, of the month, of the year. It's always some shit going. But that's a part of being in that furnace of adversity. And not, talking about it. What's your tokens of, everybody goes through different things. But that's that shit, that's that church shit. And the Lord and this, that. What's the tokens of you being in that furnace of adversity, nigga? What do you do? What have you been through? You had to share your testimony for the next man. Would it strengthen him? Or you just a nigga that knows some shit or think you know some shit? For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Isaiah 48:10, behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. All right, that adversity, that affliction, being synonymous with one another. You're going to get afflicted. You're going to be in adverse situations. You're going to be afflicted, but it's for the betterment of you. That's why it's compared to a furnace of affliction. They talk about the gold, silver, but even, of that, of a sword, right? The sword is put into the fire to be molded, and the sword, it's in the midst of fire and it's getting beat on. If you've seen the damn what do you want to say, the imagery of it. Yeah, the dude beating on the sword, and he in the fire, flipping the sword in the fire. And that's an adverse situation. If that sword had any, sense of feel, you know what I mean? That would be a adverse situation. I'm in fire and getting beat on. But, the finished product of that process is a beautiful weapon, a deadly weapon. So that can be likened to the latter end of whatever you may be going through. When the Most High done forging you in that fire, it's for the betterment of you. It seemed like some shit. You going through it though.